you've never had to take care of somebody or be a caregiver for someone with Alzheimer's and dementia, it is exhausting. It can be a 24-hour job depending on what stage they're in. You know, a lot of our people stay up all night long. Like they get their days and nights confused, and so while we're up all day doing our thing, they think it's time to sleep, and then they think it's time to stay awake at night. And so the caregivers for these people don't get any rest. They have to take care of them 24/7, watch what they eat, watch what they're getting into, hide things, put things away just to try to keep them safe. And so they really don't get a break at all.
And what's the stress that puts on the family members?
Oh, like I said, no sleep. And if they're only caring for that one person, it's still exhausting because it's just a constant, it's like taking care of a toddler again, just having to constantly watch them, take care of them, making sure they're not hurting themselves or wandering away, and it's just very tiring. And you have no time for yourself to go to the doctor yourself, because a lot of times you can't take that loved one with you because they may wander off, or they may, sometimes they act out, and it's just not something you can take with you. But having those respite hours, whether it's in-home, if you bring your loved one to the day club on Thursdays at Moberly, that's 4 hours of respite that they can have. So if somebody needed to schedule a doctor's appointment or a hair appointment or just go buy groceries, what happened, to wonder where the person's wandering off to, then they can bring them to Moberly every Thursday from about 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. We provide breakfast and lunch and activities for them, arts and crafts, music, exercise. We even bring in the pets of some sort for them to play with, and they really enjoy it. They're assigned a volunteer. It's the same volunteer every week as long as they're available. So they kind of build a relationship and get to know them. But that's 4 hours of respite every week that's needed, and then also we can do the in-home respite if someone's needing some time just to break away for the day.
Sure, yeah. You guys are a nonprofit in that way, and so what is y'all's need for acquiring these funds for respite care grants?
Oh gosh, we always need funds. The day club, the respite grants, they're not cheap. We are, paying for certified and qualified licensed caregivers to come in. It's not just some random volunteer. So that all takes money. So in order to provide those for the people in this community, all these fundraisers are necessary, because everything we raise stays right here in East Texas. It doesn't leave East Texas. It's helping families that live here in this community.
And with a fundraiser like this, how much does that help your cause, I guess?
Huge.
I mean, this is probably one of many that you guys do and whatnot too, but specifically like here today, you come back with your funds. What happens afterwards?
Well, afterwards, it goes directly back into the community. It goes directly back into the day club, to Hope and Help Hour, which is, usually an hour lunch once a month, several times a year, where we educate and we provide resources to families on how to handle things better, or what need to get lined up as far as maybe wills or any kind of information we can help them to guide them through this process. And then, of course, the respite grants, as well as the Hope and Help. Sometimes when the caregiver is a family member, whether it's a husband, wife, daughter, brother, sister, that's our loved one, and they feel more comfortable with us because they know us, and so they tend to act out more, which makes it a little harder to handle. You don't want to offend them or upset them because that's your mom or that's your dad, and you kind of tiptoe around it, trying to make everything more as comfortable as possible. And where a professional caregiver comes in, and that's their client or their patient, and they're there to take care of them, and the relationship is just different, and so things tend to work differently. Sometimes it's a little more laid back and easygoing because the patient's not quite as worried. Well, I don't know this person, so I can't really be as comfortable as I want to be, and they're just different. We have family members all the time. Once they find us, because a lot of people still don't know that we're out here and that we offer these things for them for some hours of just to break away and breathe. And so they come to us afterwards and like, oh my gosh, I wish I had found you sooner. Like, this is amazing. I had no idea this existed. Like, you don't understand what those 4 hours every week do for me, or you don't understand what being able to have our family member go and have some respite hours when we take care of our other kids. We sold 120 tickets. So like I said, the winner, once it's all said and done with, what we do is we get down to the last 5 tickets. And when we get to the last 5, then we either, if they're not here, then we get everybody on the phone, and they have an option of splitting the $5,000 and getting $1,000 each, or they can say, no, I'm going to keep going and try for the $5,000. But they have to all agree. So if one person doesn't want 1,000, then everybody's numbers go back in, and we start with those 5 and see who the last man standing is. Well, September is our biggest fundraising event. It is our Barrels and Brews event. It's at Mod Cobb on Saturday, September 19th. From 12 to 5 or 12 to 6, and we will have about 15 wineries and breweries out there where you can do wine tasting and beer sampling. We'll have about 25, 30 vendors selling, boutique items, wood crafts, arts, jewelry. We have some permanent jewelry vendors coming out. Food trucks, all kinds of live music. So it's just a great afternoon to come and hang out. It's actually inside Mod Cobb, so it's not going to be hot. But that's our biggest fundraiser of the year.